Good morning, everyone. Sorry it's a bit of a late start. Bum, bum, bum. Jai, thank you so much for the 6 months. Thank you, thank you. I would put some travel music on, but I've never known if they're like copyright or not. Also, have you ever noticed that um whenever you watch anime and they have these like long journeys and wagon trails and everything, you see them go on for like days and days and days, and when you think about it, it takes a very long time to travel. Like, what's a good example? Like, I don't know, Spice and Wolf, maybe? There was another anime where there was like, trying to remember. Also, I have no idea how big this world is, so I don't know if there's like a lot of repeating or not. But yeah, you guys having a good morning? I used to ride a long time ago, but then I remember when I was riding a horse when I was little, but I had to stop riding because I was unfortunately allergic to horsehair, and it kept getting in my eyes, so I had to give up riding, sadly. The last time I did ride a horse was in America back in 2013. I was okay, I wasn't as bad as I was, when I was younger. Not an anime, but Lord of the Rings films, as great as they are, do spend like half the films traveling. Well, on foot, not to mention. Like, can, I will say this. That pony was an absolute hero when the Fellowship first set out from Rivendell, carrying all that food and supplies. I mean, they would have resupplied somewhere else, surely. Oh, thank you. I have no idea how big this world is. Hello, and hear about Paddy the Wagon that collided with cement mix dead. 12 hardened criminals escaped. Oh, for crying out loud. Baines, you're going in the rear wagon. Goodness sake. This is why we can't have nice things. There's actually 2 wagons. Here, I'll actually show you. One of them's like really, really comfy. So you got that one behind us. So this is like our, essentially our, like, supply wagon, if you will. So we got like all our necessities in there. It's even pens as well. Set and some books as well, in case we want to read something. It's a little bit difficult to steer this because I'm doing it in reverse. And then we got this little wagon at the back. How comfy is this? Got wine, apples, books, bit to lie down, and just the journey, essentially. I mean, look how comfy that is. Certainly makes traveling a little bit more tolerable. Demi, thank you so much for the 26 month. Thank you. So yeah, this is what the road looks like. Oh, looks like we're coming to some signage. Into max 32, 64 bit limits. Dove, I think you caught the discern on this trail. Wait, really? Bill the pony. Yeah, I think it was Bill. Thanks for the hydrate beans. Thank you. Yeah, it was Bill. Wow, that's not helpful. Well, there's 3 hours going this way, so... and 2 hours going the other way, so maybe this is the best trail. Maybe. So this world is called Restart. And I don't know if it's just a metaphor for, like, you know, starting a new life, or we're gonna get teleported. I mean, to be fair to a VR chat world, there's only so far it can go. Especially if it's just like a simple line, but I have seen very big worlds too. Restarting civilization. Oh, could you imagine? So imagine like Civ, you know, civilization, and you got those settlers that have to settle to build new cities. Imagine this is your job as a settler. You have to travel far and wide on the landscape to get where you need to go to build a new city for the player. Meanwhile, aircraft are flying all overhead, armies are passing by, tanks of various different qualities. That would be nuts. And then just seeing civilization just, expand around you. Or imagine like, which game have I rode a horse the most in? I would probably think maybe Red Dead Redemption. The animations, the design on that horse was so good. Hi, Lawson. The Witcher for me. I've never tried The Witcher. Good morning, Termy. I was originally going to sit back on the front of the wagon, but then I saw this little fella actually had a saddle on him. Or maybe it's a she, I haven't really checked. And I thought, you know what, why not? The landscape is actually quite nice for what it is. Haven't seen anything in particular, but it still looks nice. Oh. You're a restless boy, huh? I think we hit a new terrain point. Maybe. What's the horse's name? I don't know. I mean, we haven't really given them a name. But then again, I don't know if it's a mare or a stallion. What are you transporting? Various stuff, furniture, books. Probably moving to a new home, maybe. Me and Demi had a falling out. But they gave me 2 wagons to start off for now. D-Jack, thank you. I'm joking, I'm joking. Thank you for the streak, thank you. I saw somebody doing a very similar world to this, but I don't know if it was exactly this one. I don't know, I think Puck was like some... I saw this world a few days ago and I thought, you know what, this would make a very good stream concept. And I think Puck was probably on this road. Maybe, I can't remember. I briefly just saw them on a road. World. Dove only took 2 wagons and a horse and I took 2 horses actually. This is a very different Spice and Wolf series. More like a spice and fox. I don't think they will, but it would be kind of cool if you could go through a village or, you know, a town. That would be pretty cool. Spice and dove. Wow. I do miss riding horses though. Chat, is Dove the cutie patootie an illusion or not being a cute patootie? Ma. But this horse looks like Raphael. Don't know Raphael. It looks like a hill in front of us. I wonder how far it goes, because either we get to the end of that trail and it just immediately respawns us to back where we were. I mean, it would make sense because I can't imagine this world being too big. I mean, it didn't take that long to load, so it's more of a chill world. Like being in the, you know, especially being in that back wagon, you're not gonna really notice much once the trail resets itself. But it's still quite cool. Good morning, Teen G. Have you looked into anywhere with American Basque curly horses? They're hypoallergenic, so should be very easy on you. Well, I think it's more an issue of me, really. Because, you know, with the horsehair, I just don't think it would work. Per se. You know what would be a very cool but also very impossible world? Being to, you know, because I've seen people do the treadmills in VR chat. Imagine doing the walk from the Shire to Mordor. That would be an exercise and a half. Nice horse you have, Dove. Got a name? Nope, not yet. I mean, you're free to name it if you want. Hypo means that they don't shed or release much trigger allergic reactions like Sphinx cats. I'm not sure. Again, it's me. So it could vary. Maybe, but I'm not quite sure. Oh boy. And that means we just went into a new area. Hello. The whole shifts when the landscape changes or something. Very interesting. But I've got to say, this is a very, very straight road. But then again, if it turned all the time, it'd be very difficult to reposition. Can't wait for the Minister of Lego set. Wait, there's a Minister of Lego set? I'm not gonna lie, but hearing that, I just think of the Star Destroyer and the Death Star Lego set, where, like, I know it's supposed to be built for everyone else, but I wish there was a bit more hardcore sets, you know? I love that Aragorn's actor bought his horse after filming because he loved him so much. Not only that, but he also bought the horse rider. You probably know this story as well, but Vigo actually bought a second horse as well for an actress, or not an actress, a rider who actually rided the horse, Arwen's horse, when running away from the Ringwraiths. And she really wanted that horse, but she couldn't afford it, so Vigo actually bought the horse for her, which I thought was very sweet. And especially that a lot of the Rohirrim, they were professional horse riders as well, and a lot of them ladies as well. So I like to pretend that it wasn't just Elwyn that was. I mean, this would be a funny theory. Like, I mean, we obviously know that Elwyn actually sneaks into the Rohirrim army to fight at Pelennor Fields. What if she wasn't the only one? What if there were other, you know, wives that felt the same way, and they felt like, you know, I'm just as much as Rohirrim as anyone else. I should fight too. Well, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Because, you know, in the filming of Pelennor Fields, a lot of the riders were actually women with beards on. Wasn't that more because she was the last living royal? If the king died less, she was a woman, they would have had shield maidens. Hmm. I think the real reason was to protect the line, if anything. You, UCS sets are the expert ones. Very expensive as well. Like the Titanic is crazy expensive and really big. They need to expand on those ideas, I feel. But, you know, that's just me. The new trials for... I've just been informed the new trials for Arc Raiders are probably meh. That's fine. I'm just happy to have managed to get 5 triple stars in there. Ever. Why are you the only one in my right ear? Are we 2 tiles away from another city? We can settle down if the barbarians don't steal you. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Well, then again, I've got two pistols on my hip, so I've got a total of 12 shots. And if I remember correctly, the barbarians come in 5 or 6 units. So should have more than enough ammunition for all of them. Don't forget about Zara Phillips, who is now Dead Queen's granddaughter. If your speaker's headphone dead on one side, I hear out of both. I can also hear out of both. That's good. I did a thing. You did a thing. You started streaking again, didn't you? Also, riding for a very long time is very exhausting. Even if you're not doing much. Sailors can't fight. Oh, that's right. Well, I'm changing the rules. Get converted. Well, I'm not gonna hear any wololo coming my way. It's a pain in the ass, literally. I'm really disappointed that Civilization 7 was such a disappointment. I really wanted to try that one. I was really looking forward to trying my, first Civilization game, as it's starting in its prime. So I could, be there with everyone else. Do you ever get that feeling where you started late on a franchise that's very popular with other people, and then the new game comes out and then you finally get to be part of that, that moment? I mean, at least the scenery is nice. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's sunny, it's not raining, it's not grey clouds or anything. Could do with a hat though. Mm. Well, coming across a third signage now. Maybe there isn't anything. Maybe we're not traveling at all. Maybe we're just stuck forever in one bit of landscape. And you question yourself, is that hilltop ever going to get closer? You need a Lord of the Rings Civ game, at least a stable mod. Do you know what really gets me annoyed about some mods in Civ? Where, because there is a mods page on the workshop, and some of them only go as far as to change the pictures of the units, and that's it. But then again, granted, it is not easy to change the game models. Like, so you either have to make them yourself, or, and this is the illegal part, rip it, essentially, but I recommend you wouldn't. But it would be nice when, I mean, some modders don't get enough praise for when they actually put in the work to make a game almost like it doesn't even feel like a mod, it just feels like a fully fledged game. It's like the same thing with Starfield. Like, they built a Star Wars mod from the ground up, and it just feels more like a solid Star Wars game rather than a mod. Or what was that other space game? It was like a space sim where you get to control ships, and there was also a Star Wars mod created for that. I think it was called X3 or something, and it was considered one of the best Star Wars mods out there. And some modders go beyond, their talents, and they create full games themselves. Like, one game I'm really looking forward to is Dwarf, which is basically an RTS game, which it kind of like a love letter to the old school Sprites, Red Alert, RTS games. And this person, from what I understand, used to do mods for Red Alert and Command and Conquer, and then eventually they just, started making their own game. I mean, modding is a very good way to learn how to to understand the language of how to design video games. And, you know, if you can do that for a good amount of time, good things could come your way. I heard Fallout London was pretty good. It's funny when some mods come out, like, and they're better than the official, like, I'm trying to remember, because there was a release with the official Fallout and then Fallout London. I thought, that's very suspicious, because the same thing they did with Oblivion, with the Oblivion remastered and the Sky Oblivion came out roughly the same time or so. But, you know, there's plenty of room for them to coexist, and I'm glad they acknowledged each other. And then there's no, you know, get the best of both worlds. You get two different experiences. There's a lot to enjoy with both. Shine Knight, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. Welcome. The Forgotten City started out as a Skyrim mod and was remade into its own separate thing. Nice. I love it when people are able to, you know, create their own content. The amount of games I need that will never be made officially by a company. Red badgers are scary. You had Battlefield 1942, aka the real Battlefield one. But there was the mod Desert Combat, but it was literally Battlefield 2 and Battlefield 1. They also made a Battlefield 2 mod, which has probably turned it to its own separate thing. Out of the fire and into the fight, Shine Knight. Hi, Shine Knight. Speaking of knights and combat, I'm really looking forward to Game of Thrones, The War for Westeros, when that comes out. It's gonna feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna give me Battle for Middle-earth vibes. I mean, at least with the screenshots and the way the dragon behaves and the water reflection, the way the landscape is, the map. Teacher, thank you. Magical tea. I tried watching Game of Thrones, but wasn't a fan of it. I mean, I can't even watch it anymore after what they did with the final. I just can't. It's just ruined for me. Like, after what they did, like, if it were up to me, if I was in charge of HBO, I would have given it until season 9, hell, even season 10, because I knew how much of a success the series is, and, you know, piece it accordingly. But, you know, they weren't interested. They just wanted to get it over and done with quickly as possible, just so they could do the Star Wars project. But little did they know that, you know, people actually cared about, you know, Game of Thrones, not just the audience, like a lot of people, even including those in the industry. And they're like, well, if you're gonna treat Game of Thrones like this, then we don't trust you with the Star Wars series at all. And I'm glad they didn't. Like, it was a stupid decision. Yeah, I kind of bounced off Game of Thrones. If I recommend anything, just read the books. But the first season is pretty good as well. I think, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like season 1 is the closest thing to the books that you will get. Because, you know, they had to, because the writing was so good. And I mean, season 2 did give us some really good scenes as well, and some stuff that wasn't in the books. Like, I really did enjoy the scenes with Arya and Tywin. Those were enjoyable. Hydrate, thank you. Especially if George confirmed that the canon ending, he's right with it. Well, that's if we get it. But one thing's for sure. With the War of Westeros game, for me, this is like the first official Game of Thrones game that's coming out. Like, one with a serious, budget and, care, I hope. Because the other ones just feel like afterthoughts. I mean, I don't know. I hate Windows 10, Windows 11 so much. I think you're gonna hate 12 too. We've come to the end of our redeemed Alphix. We had 14 minutes on it. Which means I can go back to... if I can find it. Where did I put it? There we go. It amuses me that Arya is meant to be 9 or 10 years old during the setting. And yes, sure. What? I'll be honest, in my humble opinion, Game of Thrones was very overhyped. I mean, yeah, it was. But, when you got, long-time fans who are a big fan of the books finally come out with an adaptation. And considering the how much of a success The Lord of the Rings was, just prove that, fantasy stories can be a really big success. Looking more pilgrim than the world. Want to sell it now? Now I look a little bit more appropriate for the setting. I think we are getting closer. If there's one thing I've learned about certain maps in VR chat, they give this illusion that some of them are a lot smaller than they actually are. And I've actually walked on some really, really big worlds that are really enlarged. And I remember traveling up this mountain, and it looks, oh boy, just traveled into a new section. There was this one mountain that looked a lot closer than it was, and there was a castle on the very top. And it took me, no joke, 4 hours to get up there. And the building on top was just a larger version of the same structure that was actually on the ground, but I didn't notice it at first, so I basically just went to a structure that I could already see, but it was just enlarged, if anything. You need to hold your thumbs up to scale. Ba ba ba. Good horsey. Should I be mean today? Why? Are you thinking of scaring me with a sound alert or something? Or putting an outfit on me? It's probably an outfit, isn't it? No. Not seen Dove for days. We need to be nice first, at least. Hope you guys actually enjoyed your Easter. A change of outfit. Let me guess. It's the cow one, isn't it? It is, isn't it? More cow jokes? No, don't do that. No. Also, I'm probably thinking English of doing maybe GTA 4, since I've not really played it. Because I played 5, but I've never played 4. And somebody told me it's actually quite a long game. So if you want that one as a redeem, we can go with that. I worked and went to the gym on Easter, but it was a good day. How was your weekend? It was good. We actually had family over. Gave them gifts, so it was good. It was alright. Visiting family Sunday, working on the rest of the weekend. Hi. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day, Ags. Hello. Hi, Yoshi. It's hard to tell if we're getting closer or not. Or maybe that's what that bounce was. Maybe that was the reset, and you just don't notice it. It's very subtle. But I want to believe, I wish to believe there is something at the very end of this trail, and it's not just, a constant repeat. 95, you're getting close to 100, Axe. You're gonna get your record close to shy now. I have a feeling it's a never-ending road. The never-ending story. The road never ends. But then again, I shouldn't be riding like this. I should be riding more ladylike with my legs on one side. Yeah, might as well. It's good to have something new if you do play GTA. Be fun with the bowling. I've never actually tried it, so yeah, I wonder if the bowling mechanic is good. Actually, speaking of bowling, I don't remember if Yakuza actually has bowling. Probably does, and I just don't remember it. Don't sing Never Ending Story while you're on a horse. Oh, that's right. Sorry. That is true. I don't know, the landscape feels like it's getting bigger, or my mind is lying to me. It feels closer. The journey never ends. Because when you think about it, I haven't seen a sign in a while. So I wonder if we are actually getting better. Hello, what's that? Hello. There's bowling in GTA 4. Hmm? The question is like, I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but whenever you play like actual bowling, do you ever hate, you know, that feeling, oh wait, there's a landscape tear right there. Anyway, as I was saying, do you ever hate that feeling when you put your fingers into the 3 holes and the texture on your nails whenever you like you grip it? I hate that feeling when I just pick up a bowling ball. I don't like it at all. Ugh, it's just like the tips of my nails. I just don't like it. I hate bowling because it always keeps killing my nails. Hmm. Alright, I'm head out. I'm gonna go to work. It was good to see you, Dev. Have a good day. Thank you very much, Ray. Hope work goes well. Hope it goes by quick. And hope you have a good rest of your day when you finish work. Thank you very much again. Cracks them every time. So also, I'm decent at bowling. I'm not the best, but I'm decent. I've told them that I'm a femboy and a weeb and a very I'm cute evil. If you want to be historically accurate, you should be walking beside rude. I mean, technically, isn't it behind the wagon, not beside the wagon? It's like you walk behind it so we don't have to see you. Alright, we're coming up to some signage. But the landscape does feel a bit closer. It does, though. I mean, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? It looks closer. I wish I had a measuring stick that I could just place and then just see if it restarts itself, you know? Mm, I'd say I'm below average in bowling. Not done it very often. I haven't done it in a while either. Decent at handling massive balls. I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't. It should be what? Hmm? We don't have bowling close to me, so I can count on one hand how many times I've been. I think you're going crazy. I'm going crazy? Probably. Maybe you thumb out. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Hmm. It looks closer. Hmm. I think we're getting closer. Yeah, I think we are. You'd dressed up, thank you. It's actually an old dress. I haven't put it on in a while. I made the skirt a bit longer and I put on a bow tie on this one. Because originally I had a very short black skirt with a ribbon on my collar. Now it's a longer dark blue skirt now with a different shirt on. So it's not quite white. It's a bit more darker in cotton. Yeah, I think we're getting closer. Also, you can hitch a ride if anyone tries past. Hmm, true. That's if they say yes. Or they want something. Hi, Kota. Hmm. Now I feel like I'm going crazy, because I'm not sure if I was already getting closer or not. Maybe I am losing my mind, or maybe the landscape is just so damn big. Hmm. I'm running out of tea soon. Hmm. Bum bum. Do we need to bring the padded cell back? No. I'm not crazy. I swear, we're getting closer to it. I swear. I just need, I just need a sign that we're getting further. Hmm. Mm-hmm. You've been doing donuts in the field for hours. Maybe I am going crazy. Maybe there is no. Maybe there is nothing. But the never-ending road. Maybe that's what that bump is. Every time I shoot up off the horse, it's basically the reset happening. Coming up to a sign. But what if I wasn't crazy? What if we were getting closer and closer and closer? Then what? Using that mountain as a fixed point. Also, there was a world that came out recently where I remember when I was talking about, I wish there was like a fencing world, and then somebody finally actually did one. Somebody actually made an official fencing world. Me and Tommy tried it very briefly. It's quite good. For a split second, I thought there was a horse grazing in the grass. Hmm. Just fall asleep to time skip to see if you were getting closer. That's what I kind of figure. I think the bump is just the same person you ran in cover with horse a half dozen times. Oh, my BF almost knocked his PC off his desk. Oh no. Well, in that world yesterday, wait, what? Oh, because of the fencing and everything. It's quite good. It's made by the same person that made the try to remember the game that me and Jeremy played when you had to get your pieces home. I mean, where we come from, it's called Mensch ärgert dich nicht, but it's got a lot of names like Sorry, and there was another one, but I can't remember it on the top of my head. Also, I decided to get my old hair back again, and luckily enough, the person who did the highlights with my other hair also did this one as well, so I thought, nice, now I can have a bit of both worlds, essentially. We're getting closer, like, come on. That is closer than before. I think that's what I was seeing beforehand. And then we'll never get there. But then again, it does make sense since the world wasn't, you know, very big. It didn't take that long to load, but it's not a bad, you know, it's not a bad loop because you can get some really good, you know, good scenes. People traveling down the road. And you could just, you know, fall asleep in the back of the wagon. I mean, it's not the worst sleep I've seen, but then again, it'd be kind of cool if it got extended, but I don't know if that would sacrifice a bit of the performance and everything. Oh, are you seeing things? Not quite sure. I had a weird question that made me think the other day. If you had one form of melee weapon, what would you be? I think Scandinavian staff sword. I would probably think maybe a rapier, like very small, kind of like I don't know, more like needle or something. But not the horse is not moving that far, so hello there, Madame Dove. Hi, Teen Deer. Yeah, I think this is the closest you get before things start changing. Urban Oregon Trail. Hope not. Is that a good trail or a bad trail? Yep. I think that was the restart. Yeah. It's quite subtle. One moment you feel like you're getting closer, but really. We can go into the back wagon, actually. What? Yeah, sure. Writing for ages does take a bit out of you. If there was if there was some sort of handed Zweihand, I think it would be you with the zigzag pattern. Maybe. True way to tell a drop object right before the jump. It can bear up its food, so that's one problem somewhat. Listen to what? You're not dining on me. Bad? Oh, generally bad. Good for me. For some odd reason, you look one of my high school teachers. Maybe I am going to a school. I mean, I've got chemical sets. I've got flasks, I've got books, so pens. Wait, look how fancy this pen is. Fancy pen. I could never do these pens properly. Would spill ink all the time. Fountain pen. One day I would love to try the whole, just having an actual feathered pen and just dip it into the ink. I'll eat nuggies 2 to 3 days a week. Hydrate, you got it. Thank you, Rustin. Women doing science in the historic time period, which, shh, don't tell anyone. And now we have ballpoint pens. Actually, I wonder what is going on in the world of your chat. I do like the shadows as well when the trees go by. It's quite a nice touch. Fancy dove. A lot of fountain pens had awesome tips. You all heard she threatened to turn me into a frog. Since when? Dove, you had to pick a subject. Which one would it be and why? What kind of subject? Are we talking like a school subject or what's happening is I'll be pulling on my index here in an hour to go to sleep. Haven't been all night doing homework. I don't miss homework at all. School. I would say history personally because there was just so much, fascinating things to learn about other people's cultures and how they lived, how they did things, and, making new discoveries. I would be PAP was, had a lot to be desired. Excuse me. Well, ballpoint pens, I mean, skin carbide, physics. Yeah, school wasn't exactly in my plans, but life came at me real fast, so here I am back at school finishing off second associate degrees in semester and a half. Hi, imaginary. Welcome on the road. But to be a sub for history and geography, the funny thing is, my PE teacher, in high school, actually injured himself, so he became our history teacher. But he was so good at it. He was really funny, and he really made people want to learn about history. But he was also very patient with people as well. On the talk of history, don't know if you visited the London dungeons. I haven't. No. Like, I've been to the Tower of London, but I've not visited the dungeons themselves. Or the amusement park, for that matter. Oh, why do I have to be the squiggly sword shy? Oh yeah, fair. It's very good, by the way. Honestly, I don't hate subjects, I just hate teachers. Oh my gosh. Like, I remember somebody in my one of my art teachers gave somebody detention just for being colorblind because he got the color wrong. Like, how messed up is that? Yeah. And the crazy thing is that person was my sibling. So I resented my art teacher for a long time for that. Yep, that's horrible. I mean, that's at least what I've been told. Whether it happened or not, I don't know. It's just what I was told. Just become a teacher yourself. Yeah, if I hate living. mm, mm. I mean, I had one teacher who was a music teacher who kept addressing me by my full name. And do you ever get those moments where teachers would address your name, but the way they say it just feels so demeaning? And I really hated my music teacher. He always put me on the spot. He's in prison now because well, I think you can connect the dots. Teacher, school, students. and I thought something was up about him, and I was right. But I didn't know it was that bad. And the thing is, it wasn't at my school, it was the school he worked at after mine, which I think was, can't remember if it was a junior school or an elementary school, but yeah, it was bad. I think there was like 12 cases or something. So yeah, he's in prison now. Thankfully. Because I remember when he would wait outside the school block, and he would just like watch all the students walking by. And I always thought he at first, you know, was just doing the traditional thing where teachers just made sure the students were safe. But now looking back at it, I think he was actually picking out targets. I like English, but my last year in high school, my English teacher wanted to fail me, but in the national test, I scored the best of everyone in school, and she had to give me an A, but she did not want to. She just sucked at teaching me. Yeah, I've had a few of those before. I never feel comfortable deciding if that's a safe topic here. No, don't worry, it's fine. Uh, it's the same as, do you vote? Hell no. But you still complain. We just want to be lazy and do nothing and complain. Mm. Good he got caught at any rate. I think he probably overstepped it and made it a bit too obvious. But, you know, never interrupt an enemy when they're making a mistake. You know, it's weird because every time I move to a school, they're always tearing something old down and then building something new. Every time. I hated English, but I liked my teacher. I never understood English because in high school, I went to a European school. So I thought the English subject was actually for to teach the other students how to speak English. But no, I was very wrong. English was weird, to say the least, and a very a very I don't know, it was a very how should I say this? Awkward subject. Like I remember they would put all these random videos on, and there was this one film we watched called The Sandman, and it was a stop motion animation, and I hate stop motion animation because it's so creepy. And it was all about a kid being scared in bed, and then the Sandman creeping up the stairs, and you didn't know when he was going to strike, and then out of the blue, he would just throw sand into the child's eyes and then rip them out. And then you would see all these children with no eyes. It was like, what is that supposed to teach us? What is that any of that for? Except traumatizing me. I hated English. But from my English teacher, from how she got dropped. Morning, Sim. Hi, expert. Morning, morning. Why do we need English when we speak it every single day? British educational system. Well, the thing is about the British educational system is that it teaches us how many wives Henry VIII had. It teaches us about the Roman Empire. But it doesn't teach us all the important things like how to get a mortgage, how to get a job, how to, make a living, how to prepare yourselves for the real world. Like, we don't get important subjects, we get more like hobbies, if anything. I mean, maths is useful. Maths is useful. Science can be useful as well. Divorce bed died. Divorce. Native language classes suck everywhere. We were given, when it comes to language, we were given a choice of which languages we wanted to learn. So I chose French and I wanted to keep up with my German, so I chose those. And as soon as I leave school, Japanese gets introduced. I was like, freaking damn it, I would have had that. It's like at the very end. Mm, mm, mm. What? At the very top. There we go. Mm. Only had French and Spanish. We had Spanish as well, but I wasn't too sure about how well I could do Spanish. You look so small on top of the cart. Well, it is a really big one, so... Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. That was also small. That is true. That is very true. I really like having my long hair back, actually. It was quite nice to have, the hair not actually phasing through my face. Besides, Demi prefers longer hair as well. Mm. It's funny about German because a lot of my fellow students always joked about German, and they didn't. It's funny because they didn't really pay much attention to it. But then when it came to exams, they were exemplary, which is bizarre. It's super nice. Hey, Shizuo. Is that what Charlie will not joke about? Demi just pulled your hair, Charlie Kura. Well, I did have it in a ponytail at the back, so I could just let it down. But yeah, I wish I could learn more languages. Duolingo fell off hard. I wish I was bilingual. I mean, as far as skirts go with some of the avatars, I really like the flair of this one. It's quite good. I also heard Duolingo is bad now. Wait, really? Why? Not gonna lie, I learned more German by living in Germany for a year than by 10 years of German classes in school. If I recall, they replaced their translators with. Oh no. Why would you do that? That's so bad. Because you're not going to get the proper translation that way. You replace it with AI. Also, I was looking up some old games that I want to try again. I was looking back at a trailer of Mirror's Edge. Kind of want to try that game again. Mirror's Edge is one of my favorite games. It's so good. I wonder if, like, there was this one level where I'm not going to say too much about it for those who don't know. There was this one level you're getting chased, and my heart was racing because I was just not expecting it. And then, you know, 'cause you can't fight back, and you have to just run and run and run. It's like this heart adrenaline pumping moment. And, you know, it kind of brought back some traumatic memories because, you know, in school I had to run away a lot from bullies, so I was used to running away. S tier soundtrack in Mirror's Edge, it still holds up to this day. Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Now you run away from my love. Mwah. Not true. I do appreciate you guys very much. Thank you. Hmm. Mwah. Hmm. Not as much as we appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, huggles. I know you like your hugs. Mm. And then I just push you off. Then I just push you off the road. Alright, good. Okay, bye. Worth it. I mean, the wagon isn't going that far, so should be able to catch up pretty quickly. There was another Wagon World as well, where it's a bit more interior. There was this one piece of animation where I was watching where they had this wagon, and it was basically a pillow for with, you know, inside the wagon with books and pillows and heavy blankets, and you could see past, you know, the riders, and it was just so relaxing looking. Like, that's probably the most snug wagon ride I've ever seen. Like, flowers and everything. And this wagon is reminding me of the scene from ReZero just before they found the whale. I wonder who has had the longest journey in anime. I mean, granted, One Piece has been going for a very long time, and, you know, so I wouldn't put it past, you know, them to have travelled for a very long time, but story-wise, I wonder who has had to travel the longest. I wonder what rain sounds like on a wooden moving wagon compared to glass, metal, or a car. That's actually an interesting idea. Like heavy storms. I mean, you probably wouldn't be traveling on the road per se. And Dragon Ball Z went for a good few years too. Longest most time traveling. I'd say distance in traveling, I guess. Because Saivo with cryotubes. Yeah, but alright, let's not count sci-fi. Let's think about more grounded elements, like or like straight on the ground, like kind of travel. Mm. In that case, maybe Latifura, since they never settled down. I need to look at that one actually. Gosh, with this longer hair, I feel a little bit more motherly, or more. I feel more like a teacher now with this longer skirt. I assumed Freeran would have been somewhere up there by walk distance. That's true, 'cause she has lived for a very long time. So she's done a lot of traveling. Mommy? Sorry, Mom. Well, technically I already am, because I already adopted someone. So I guess I am. It's weird though to think about. So, because I remember ever since Delhi, Delhi took me in, and I was always wondering, like, what would it be like if I were to have that experience myself? And then June came into my life, and, yeah, I kind of understand how Delhi feels now. Hard to tell because most shonen eventually give the characters high-speed movement or teleportation-like abilities like Naruto or Bleach. Flash Step. Hi, Oil. I mean, yes, you're not wrong. I mean, when I've already done so much traveling already, it's like you do this long travel segment at the very beginning, and then when things get dire and, you know, the stakes are high, it's like teleportation time to get there as quickly as possible to keep the action rolling. Hi, Tiffany. Good morning, good morning. We're on the road. Mah. Just racing the horses. Mah. It's the adorable dove. Hi, Kanako. Hello. Could you imagine this before in VR chat? Before we had portals, we had horses and wagons. So this is how you would have to travel. Could you imagine that? If you agree, could you imagine how annoying that would be? You agree to meet a friend in a world or in a faraway place, and you literally have to travel there. And then when you get there, plans have changed, people forget. Could you imagine how horrible that would be? You look pretty, thank you. I brought back an old outfit. Made the skirt a bit longer as well. Hello, Shinian. Hello, hello. Also, how are you doing today? Are you moving to Fishing World, Void Club? I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see tomorrow, because this evening we don't have our evening stream. So it's just a morning stream today. Definitely not back in my day. Back in my day, our portals were much more glowy. And there was a lot more Ugandan knuckles everywhere. But that would be an interesting concept. Like, imagine... Oh, that would be a very ambitious April Fools. Instead of using portals, you had to travel. Wait a second, who's driving the wagon train? That would be a horse. Horse. I don't know if we named them or not. Peter, the horse, is here. Oh, Also very pretty to dress. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sad no evening stream. I mean, I don't want to burn myself out. We're testing a new schedule for this week. So no evening stream on Monday or Friday. But the rest will be normal schedule. So tomorrow will be a morning stream and an evening stream. Yeah, the map loops. It is a loop-de-loop. We're going nowhere. And you will like it. The long hair and pink highlights looks great too. Yeah, I really do love it. Makes the blue eyes stand out a bit. Kinda glad I went back with this outfit and just made the skirt longer. Because I was looking for a different outfit and I thought, wait a minute, I've already got one. And I thought this one would be perfect for this scenery. So yeah, we're going back to the old hair style. Now that I found out that the same creator who did the highlights has also done it for this hair as well. So I'll have to do a lot of hair swaps for my avatars again. Or I can just keep the hairstyle with the other outfits just to make things a little bit different and unique. But going forward, this is going to be our focus looked, essentially. Dev capitalizes my time. There is a capitalism joke in here somewhere, is there? Well, is it because I'm British, or... I'm exactly where I wanted to be. Also, somebody did mention, you know, will you be making a Discord? I have considered making a Discord page for the channel. But it's not going to be a traditional Discord page, in the sense that you would think. It's more of, how should I describe it? It's more of a place where I can keep everybody up to date and share future plans for things going forward, you know, that sort of thing. Rather than just having the traditional, alright, here's a photo section, here's a general comment section, that sort of thing. So it's not really going to include any of that sort of thing because, in all fairness, we already have a lot of those same channels already where we already have a lot of channels where we do photos, we do like avatars, IRL, food, or fan art, you know, that sort of thing. The reason why I'm thinking of going down that road is because Discord is notorious for not doing well at protecting users' accounts, and I don't really have the time or the resources to police a Discord server. So for the safety of everyone involved, I think it would be better not to go down the traditional route, if that makes sense. At least, that's the idea I was thinking of. But we'll see how things go in the future, because it's still a lot of work in progress. notification server, not a community server, something like that, yeah. But I'll try to add some community elements and then we'll see how it goes. So it's still, you know, a work in progress in terms of concept. But we'll see how it goes because, you know, again, a lot of people I know have already got like hundreds of servers that they're already a part of. And this could be a good way to keep people in the loop a bit more easily, so they don't have to check their emails all the time or, you know, check Twitter or Blue Sky, so it's a little bit more easier to keep and stay in touch, you know. Yeah, it makes sense, especially with the whole Discord wanting to give you ID, IRL, ID, that, and, you know, scammers and everything. Because I was recently a part of another Discord page where they literally sent a notification to all their users saying, please be vigilant, please stop, you know, falling for these scam accounts. Because, you know, we only got so many people that can police the server, you know, so on and so forth. So, let's see, what time is it? It's lunchtime, apparently. Because I smell, because I've just been called for lunch, so I wonder who we should raid, actually, because there's actually nobody online for me to say. Oh no, Chakra was just gone online. So we can ambush Chakra. Have leftover chips and from a Good Friday fish and chips. And chip buddy myself. Nice. Yeah, let's go beat up the Shaki. Okay. Ma, my Jester. We're just coming to the end of our stream now. Ma. But yeah, let's do the raid for Chakra. Thank you very much again for joining. Sorry it's a very late one and a short one. Lots of things, you know, IRL and everything, so tomorrow we'll be back tomorrow morning, hopefully doing maybe some VR chat, probably exploring some new worlds as well, maybe going on an adventure where we actually go somewhere this time around and not just stay in the loop. Okay. Chakra. There we go. Thank you very much again, guys, for dropping by. I really much appreciate it, as always. Thank you so much. And thank you again for the new followers and for the continued subs as well. Very much appreciated, you guys. I love you lots. Have a very good time. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye bye.